Welcome to the Holiday Heroes of Jersey podcast, where you'll hear profiles of the people making a difference through the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Every year, the Holiday Fund empowers 10 amazing regional charities to deliver real help to real people right here in Jersey. Join us this holiday season as we bring you stories of changed lives and renewed hope made possible by generous donations and the dedicated people helping our neighbors who need it most across the Greater Newark, New Jersey region. Are you ready? Let's get to today's session.
Hi, friends. This is Kenny Jang again. We are here with the Holiday Heroes of Jersey podcast, broadcasting from the Garden State, the home of the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Today's conversation is looking like it's going to be a fun one. We've got a great conversation partner here, an interview with what we're calling one of our holiday heroes right here in Jersey. The reason why we started this broadcast, to remind everybody here, is basically to shine a light on all of the individuals, people just like you and me, but who have made the decision to make a difference where it counts, right here in our backyard of the Garden State. And so on today's show, I'm really pleased to invite Jacques Hryshko onto the show. Jacques, did I get your name right? And welcome to the show.
You did, Kenny. Congratulations on getting my name right. So first, I'm just thrilled and honored that, to be talking to you here this morning. And I need to say that I'm representing the heroic work of all the staff at Family Connections.
Absolutely. And so you actually serve as the executive director of Family Connections. And Family Connections, I guess, it's a nonprofit, it's community-based. It's in Essex County and surrounding counties. And actually, you do tons of stuff. I think there's about 36 different specialized programs that you do in the communities, and you serve almost the wide spectrum. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, you serve infants all the way through seniors in terms of types of services.
That's correct.
Perfect. Well, let's start there. So could you tell us a little bit about what your role is in the organization, just because there's so many different services and divisions there, and tell us a little bit about what Family Connections does.
So, as you said, Kenny, we have over 35 programs, and these 35 programs are housed in 7 counties in New Jersey. Not every county has all of our services, but a quick overview of our services. These services could be put in a number of categories, 4 categories. The first being treatment services, treatment for mental health and substance abuse addictions. The second is school-based youth services programs. We have 3 school-based youth services programs in high schools in Essex County and 2 programs in middle schools in Essex County. The third category is services for families who are court involved or involved with the child protection system of the state of New Jersey. And these programs provide therapy or treatment for families. They provide supportive housing services, and they also provide supportive visitation services for families.
Nice.
The last category is a large category, and I'm going to call prevention services. These prevention services are rather broad, and they can range from in-home services for young mothers to community-based meetings for families to improve or to help families get to know one another in their community. So there's a broad range of different types of prevention programs.
Wow, that definitely is a broad spectrum of things that you do for the people. It's one of the things that we love about this podcast is we hear about organizations in the area, but we don't always hear about what they do. And it's a little bit of, I think it's uplifting to hear that we've got so many robust organizations like yourselves as a safety net and a support system for so many of the needs out there. One of the reasons we brought you on today, Jacques, is because, basically you've been working quietly in this social service agency setting and not looking for credit or anything like that, doing great work across northern New Jersey. And we are naming you as our holiday hero today. We think that people like you and the organization that you lead, the team members, really deserve the recognition and the appreciation for what you're doing in our society, in our culture, in our neighborhoods. And I want to help share that story with those that are listening in today. I know you've been involved with the cause and this organization for a while. Could you tell us a little bit about the history? How did you first get involved? I understand you've been with the organization for over 10 years, right?
Yes. So just to go back to what I said at the beginning, I'm here really to represent the heroic work of all of our staff. Magic happens here at Family Connections, and magic happens every day here at Family Connections. And the reason that this is true is we have strong teams, and these teams are made up of staff whose personal mission is to make a difference with the lives of families in our community. So this is not about me. This is about the united work of all of our staff.
Absolutely.
And what we recognize also, though, is that the true heroes of this holiday season are the families who come to us seeking our help. Families who come to us are wanting to make major changes in their lives. And making these changes takes an act of courage, and courage of a hero. So it's during these holiday seasons that we really want to celebrate the courage and the heroism of families who come to us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I totally get it. And just looking at the mission of your organization, I love how you guys have crafted the language. If I'm correct, this is the version I've seen, is it's to engender hope, enhance safety, heal trauma, and strengthen the families and communities. And I think those are the things that I think you're talking about is it takes some courage to raise your hand and say, hey, look, we want to make a change here, and almost like we want to make a change in our family tree, right? To go forward.
Absolutely.
So your staff definitely, I think they're the difference makers on a daily basis. Do you have an uplifting story that you can share with us about your staffers or volunteers or people that you are out there engaging with the families to help our listeners better understand what you guys actually do towards that mission for your organization?
So with having 35 programs, I have to say, I hear stories that are so uplifting almost on a daily basis. And to give just kind of a sense, in our supportive housing program, I heard a mother tell me in tears how she had just been reunited with her 6 children. Her 6 children had been placed in foster homes and were going to be adopted.
Amazing.
The reason that they were being adopted was that she could not secure adequate housing. She did not have the financial means to secure adequate housing, and so her children were being placed and adopted. In our new pilot project with the state, we were able to find this family an apartment and outfit this apartment. And this holiday season, for the first time in many years, these 6 children will be reunited with this mother and celebrating the holidays.
Oh, so
that's
good.
That's an amazing story. In our substance abuse programs for mothers who are wanting to provide for their children the experience of a positive mother, a nurturing mother that perhaps they didn't have. So they are trying to teach each other positive tools and ways to be with their children. Simple things like going to our reading corner and reading a book with their child. And mothers saying to me, this was an experience that I just never had. This is a family who was making a difference for the next generation in their families.
I love how practical and hands-on that is in their daily life. So those are the types of things that I think we at the Greater Newark Holiday Fund are trying to shine a light on and saying, look, we need to pay attention to the difference makers and let us pull together as a community across New Jersey and support those right here in our backyard. We're asking everyone that we're bringing onto the program here, if you had a magic wand and just had ability to do something quite significant, what's one personal holiday wish you have for the program? What would you love to see happen this next year forward?
So having one is very hard. I just have to say, being a nonprofit community provider in today's world means that we do not have enough funds to provide service in the quality that we want to provide these services. The state does not give us money to do this. And we are dependent on the community for additional funding so that we can really make our programs exceptional. So we're so indebted to the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. I think if I had one general area, it's prevention services. That so many times now, when funding becomes available or the state does fund a program, it's at a point, it's to help families at a point where there is a serious problem. And to have funding for young children, to have funding for, as I was saying before, prevention programs that try to reduce the likelihood that problems will exist later on. This type of funding is very difficult, but we know that every dollar spent here saves $38 later on in reducing hospitalizations, in reducing incarceration, in reducing education, special education expenses. Certainly, I think for me, it would be this year money towards prevention programs.
So a lot of nonprofits that we talk to, and I think this is indicative of the whole industry usually, the holiday season in particular, the last quarter of the year or the winter, seems to be a period where it peaks in terms of the demand or the need to deliver services. Is that something that your organization sees on a seasonal basis? Are you affected seasonally? Is this a period of time where that extra funding or that each individual donation that you get does really make a difference? Or is it something that you have an evened out structure? What's the nature of your organization operations?
Yes. So over the last several years for communities, nonprofit community service providers, funding has becoming increasingly challenging. And the making budgets work is absolutely now a year-round challenge. However, having said that, the holidays make available funding even more challenging.
Right.
And having additional funds, and we're able to secure some additional funding to provide services at even a higher level during the holidays, the holiday season. But just to go back, what we are experiencing across the entire year is a demand for services, an increased demand for services with even less money.
Wow. So you're trying to figure out how to become leaner, meaner,
yes.
Not by choice, but this is definitely
yes.
just by circumstance, right?
Yes.
And so there are so many good charities to support, and people, a lot of nonprofits come out of the woodwork during the holiday season. After hearing some of the stories in our conversations today, I think some of the listeners might be now leaning forward on the fence and curious more about how they can help. What would you say to that person who's listening in and really considering about physically taking out their credit cards and making a donation today? What's your pitch to them? How would you encourage them to say, yes, this is a great choice, you need to help and support us today? What would you say to that potential donor right now?
So our name is Family Connections. We are on Google search us, Family Connections New Jersey. You'll go to our homepage, www.familyconnectionsnj.org. There is a way, an easy way on the bottom of the homepage to make a donation. If also on our website is our telephone number. But if you do not have access to the internet, it is Family Connections, 973-675-3817. And with that one number, we can provide information regarding any of our programs or how to make a donation to any of our programs.
Yeah, and I think you can hear from the stories and the posture that you have is that Family Connections is a really good steward of the money that comes in the door and translating that into transformation and impact on the ground. We believe, honestly, it's people like you here right in our backyard who have made the bold decision to dedicate your vocation to make you one of our holiday heroes today. Over the last year, could you share with us, I guess on an uplifting note, what's the best day that you had working at Family Connections? What's one day you went home and you want to high five someone and said, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing?
Wow. So when you ask that question, I'm thinking of moments. And as I've said earlier, these moments, they're numerous. I remember back to a moment not too long ago where a mother who recognized me came up to me in the parking lot of the supermarket, came up and gave a hug and said, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember your face. And I just want to thank you because your agency, Family Connections, made such a difference to our family. It's a moment when a staff person comes up to me and says, I am so proud to work for Family Connections. It's learning that a donor has made a contribution, has decided to give us some of their money because they believe in the work that we're doing. It's when a consumer, somebody who received our services, became a staff member and then received another job and came back and said, I'd like to be on the board of Family Connections. So having a board member who received services and then was on our staff and now is a board is just,
that's incredible.
Yes, magic happens at Family Connections. And as we say, hope lives here.
That's one of the reasons why you're part of the portfolio of nonprofits that Greater Newark Holiday Fund supports and wholly encourages everybody to learn more about. Jacques, thank you so much for sacrificing your time and talents to help those in need and lead your extraordinary team. It's heroes like you that are making a difference where it counts. Again, I know you shouted out your web address and contact information. If someone wants to get in touch with you and learn more, again, can you just repeat the details so that everyone here has a chance to actually make that connection with your organization?
Yes, so a Google search just on Family Connections, New Jersey. The website, www.familyconnectionsnj.org, or the telephone number 973-675-3817.
Well, thank you so much for coming out today to share some of those stories with us and put a face to a name and really share some details, because so many times we hear about these nonprofits, we assume they're doing, open air quotes, good stuff. But today, listening to you really, I think, moves my heart in particular, and get to know a little bit more of the details of why you guys are doing what you're doing and why it's so sorely needed in our state. Thank you so much, Jacques.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much.
And thank you to our listeners for taking the time to be with us and listening to our conversation with yet another holiday hero. I invite you to learn more about the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. You can do that at the website 2017.holidayfund.org. Remember, when you donate, you're making a difference where it counts. Till next time, I'm Kenny Jang, host of the show. Be good and be generous this holiday season.
Thank you, Kenny.
If you enjoyed today's session, please help us share the work of the Greater Newark Holiday Fund with friends and family who can make a difference in northern New Jersey. You can do that by leaving a review on iTunes or by sharing our website 2017.holidayfund.org with your network. We believe that those who practice generosity during this critical time of year are our very own hometown holiday heroes. Let your generosity make a difference where it counts. The Greater Newark Holiday Fund is a giving partner you can believe in, trusted by more than 20 corporate and foundation grants, and thousands of individual donors just like you. And don't forget to join us every week, right here, for the next installment of the Hometown Heroes of Jersey podcast.